At last, the time has finally come. It's finally here. One of the most eagerly anticipated games on the Switch so far releases this week, and I can't friggin' wait. Anyways, hi everyone, welcome to SwitchedOn. It's time for my regular look at the eShop for this coming week. And I've had a huge influx of subscribers recently, so if you are new, thank you and welcome. I hope you do stick around and enjoy the content I'm making. But if you are new here to SwitchedOn, then also please consider subscribing, as it really helps me out, and hopefully you will too enjoy the content. With the run up to E3 well underway, it seems to be slowing the releases on the eShop down. Well, at least in terms of quality anyway, I'd say. So let's dig into a few games that have caught my eye, and the first up are two smaller games which frankly could go either way looking at them, and they are Bullet Battle Evolution and Summer Sports Games. Now, Bullet Battle Evolution is a third-person 4v4 team-based shooter. The trailer doesn't look too bad from a gameplay perspective, although I have seen other clips floating around. And in those it takes sort of 4 or 5 clips to put somebody down, which could get pretty annoying. Anyway, it's the sort of game you'd expect to be free on mobile, but you're looking at $14.99 for this on the Switch when it hits on Thursday. I'm hoping to get my hands on this one, so stay tuned for that. Okay, Summer Sports takes me right back to my youth, where I played these sort of games on the Commodore 64 and Spectrum. And if you talk to kids these days about joystick waggling and blistered palms, you probably have to answer some pretty awkward questions. This is a compilation of 12 sport mini-games from the 100 metres race to archery and weightlifting. Seems a bit of a stretch at $25 and £21, but I'll be trying to check this one out as well this week and give you my verdict before it hits on Thursday. Rightio, let's have a look at a couple of other games that look a little bit more engaging than those. And first up, I've picked out Phantom Doctrine, which released on PC about a year ago and now hits the Switch on Thursday, courtesy of Forever Entertainment. There are a couple of things here that stick out for me, and the first is the setting, where this one is set in the Cold War. I like anything to do with the Cold War, so that's a big plus for me. Although I will say the trailer on the eShop, especially the music, does an awful job of conveying that period in history. But anyway, I digress. This game is also a turn-based strategy in the vein of XCOM, or more recently Hard West, which was actually from the same publisher. Now, it would be harsh, but probably not unrealistic to call this Hard West Cold War Edition, as it looks to share a lot of the gameplay style from that game. I'm always down for some turn-based strategy, and the final icing on the cake here is a huge 33% off the original $18 asking price if you own pretty much any of the other Forever Entertainment game libraries, so check those out before Thursday's launch to see if you qualify. Next up, I've picked out Time Spinner from the excellent Chucklefish, publishers of Stardew Valley and Wargroove on the Switch. Now, this one's a pixel art platformer inspired by similar games from the 1990s, and it looks absolutely beautiful. The trailer reminds me a lot of Castlevania actually, so if you dig those sort of games you could be in for a treat here. The main mechanic seems to revolve around you being able to manipulate time, with the trailer showing our heroine stopping enemies and the environment around her as she dodged around them. Now, I like this sort of mechanic in a game, and also more generally these action platformers, so I'm going to be all over this. And if this looks up your street too, then Tuesday is the day of release, and it's going to set you back around about £15 or $20. So finally, it's time for the big release of the week, and given that I've already had plenty of coverage of this one on the channel, it should come as no surprise that my pick of the week is Slay the Spire from developer Megacrit. And this one's actually published by Humble Bundle on Switch and comes to the eShop on Thursday. Now, this is obviously another PC port, and a game that was plagued by delays porting it to the Switch for whatever reason. There's been various rumours, but anyways, it's finally here and I couldn't be happier. Now, Slay the Spire is in essence a card drafting game with roguelike elements, and if you enjoyed the recently released SteamWorld Quest, then you should love Slay the Spire, which in my opinion has better gameplay mechanics, where SteamWorld Quest has more of a story alongside the card play. Now, I do hope to review this one at some point. I'll leave a link to some other little videos that I've done on Slay the Spire, so give you an idea of what this one's all about, but hopefully I shall get to it at some point this week. Now, enough gushing, stick this one on your list when it hits Thursday, and it's worth every penny and cent of its near £20 and $25 price tag. Okay, sorry, got a little bit overexcited there, I do apologise. I can't force you at gunpoint to buy a Slay the Spire, although if I could I would. But if I really haven't convinced you, then hopefully there's something in these upcoming sales that catches your eye. Now, the big sales news this week has been Devolver Digital, and they've basically stuck their back catalogue on some pretty tasty discounts for this week. So if you fancy getting your hands on games like Ape Out, Katana Zero, Gris, or Swords of Ditto, then check out their page on the eShop for all the details. Now, in a sheer coincidence, I'm sure, with Slay the Spire releasing this week, the admittedly excellent SteamWorld Quest also sees a tasty 50% off for the next couple of weeks. And again, check out my review on that one above. Right, just before the news, I've got a couple of quick bits of patch information, which I know you guys tend to appreciate heads up on. And first patch news comes from Mario Tennis, which is cashing in on the upcoming Wimbledon tournament with new patch 3.1.0, which adds a whole plethora of good stuff. The also Nintendo published Super Smash Bros. Brawl adds another patch this week, and it's a cracker, adding in some Labo VR integration alongside the usual balancing and stability. And the Labo VR stuff looks pretty good, and you can have a look around the stages with your headset, so that's pretty cool. And finally, the excellent Katana Zero released a patch that adds in a hard mode and a speedrun mode amongst some other fixes, so if you've already completed that like myself, you can go back and check that out. So on to the news, and this week's really dominated by what's to come for the second half of the year, and this of course is neatly laid out by the mid-year game show E3. Now, we already have some big names leaking games with FIFA 20 and NBA 2K20, unsurprisingly already confirmed for later in the year. But the interesting news really was GameStop, who have added a staggering 20 new listings for Switch games on their internal database. And these are obviously unreleased and unknown full price Switch games. But yeah, I wonder what they could be. Now, there's also a late breaking rumour that EA have added an additional Switch announcement at E3 alongside FIFA. So I wonder what this can be. Another sports title? Everyone's clambering for a Madden on the Switch. Maybe Mass Effect remasters, that's been rumoured before. Or an exclusive Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare. Love those games. Who knows, but it's definitely going to be one to keep an eye on. And I love me some EA support on the Switch. Let me know what you're looking forward to at E3. I may do a little preview video, but everyone seems to be doing them, so I'm a little bit reluctant to jump on and just be a follower. But perhaps we can do something and maybe include you guys in some way. Just let me know below what you want to see. That does it for another week. Happy gaming. I can't wait to get my hands on Slay the Spire, so I'm counting down the seconds for that. It's certainly been a long time coming. But in the meantime, stay switched on, and I will see you in the next video.